Hello, and welcome to the Confidence Suite. I am Dr. Christy Monk, your confidence concierge, and I am so excited to be here with you to talk about getting ready to rock your ice. And you may be wondering, what is rocking your ice? And I'm going to tell you as we go through this time together. And what I would like to do when I'm talking about rocking your ice is we're going to learn how to rock your ice through effective communication. So, who are we and why are we here today? We're going to rock our ice, and ice stands for esteem plus confidence, influence. Y'all, I'm getting ahead of myself, but influence plus confidence equals esteem. And what we're going to do is talk about all three of those factors and how they impact how you show up in the world today. So you see, I'm here ready to rock my ice, and I'm just excited. I'm skipping my words. But the reason why we're here today is to basically learn how you're showing up in the world and how our belief systems shape who we are. Then we're going to talk about the communication and how it impacts how people are responding to you as you're working and interacting with them. And then I'm going to give you my 4 proven strategies that will improve your confidence through communication immediately. So, who is Dr. Christy? So to be transparent about who I am, I was once that person who was always performing. I was at the top of my game when it came to work, and then one day somebody actually told me, "You're not the person for the job." So who has the audacity to come to me, somebody that just had been with the company for 3 months and was always saying things to me like, "They don't fire the team, they fire the coach." Well, who was he talking to? Because I don't have any performance issue and my team is performing. But what I realized, he was basically making a statement to me about who I was and who he believed that I was in the workplace. So fast forward, one day I come to work and I go into his office and he and HR are sitting there. So I'm like, "What is the purpose of this meeting?" And he was like, "I just don't think you're the person for this job." And I'm like, "Okay." And so he said, "So I'm going to put you on a performance improvement plan." Well, first of all, that wasn't going to happen. And I don't know how many of you know, I'm from Texas. So in Texas is an at-will state, which means they can let you go for any reason. So one, I wasn't going to accept that. So he asked HR, "Well, what can we do?" She said, "Oh, we can offer a severance." I said, "I'll take the money." And they're both looking astonished like, "What?" But at that moment, I felt like I can't make anybody want me, or I can't fight against their perception. So stay with me as I'm telling that story. So I got laid off for 3 months, had the best 3 months of my life. Whew, good time. So then I get another job. 2 years into that, same thing happened again. So I'm like, oh my gosh. The only difference between the first time and the last time was I didn't ask for unemployment. But this next time when I saw the paperwork, I was like, "Oh," he said, "I need to talk to you." I said, "No." I said, "Where do I sign? And how does it impact my unemployment?" And he was like, "Don't worry about it." Okay, so I leave. Good life, things going. I decide to go back to school, just enjoying life. So then I get to a job where I liked it. And the one thing I will say about who I am, I've always gotten jobs easily. And I was typically sought out for the jobs that I had. And so now I get to a place where I have a team working for me, and management felt that it was okay for my subordinates to make more than me, for me to do all the work. So we know that wasn't happening. So I just kind of let it pass. Here I go, what we'll talk about later, passive aggressive behavior, until one day I had to say, "You know what, Christy? You can't continue to allow these things to happen." So me being who I am, I've taken my educational experiences and my personal experiences to create the Confidence Suite. And who is the Confidence Suite for? The Confidence Suite is for you if you don't feel that you're getting paid your worth, your opinions are not heard, you're not perceived as valuable. Other people are giving credit for the work that you do, and you're only looked at when things are wrong. And then they also looking at you to manage the disgruntled employee. So what I do is teach people how to stay. And what we're going to look at today is how do you do that? Because what I do know that everyone is not about getting a six-figure income. You know, you can do those six-figure deals. What you have to know is that everything comes with the price. And why do I love doing what I do? So what I can tell you, what I teach and train is 100% guaranteed if you do the work. So for instance, I have T. Wilson, who tells me, thank you for helping me navigate the waters of my career. And her story was, she was doing the work of two people. Someone left the organization and they gave her an opportunity to do something that she loved. But guess what happened? She was doing a good job of it. The next thing she know, she was asked to help train somebody else do the work. So let's just take a minute and stay there. If that were you, how would you feel? One, you would feel hurt, frustrated, angry, and not valued. But what we did, we took the time to turn that around. Because when she came to me, I asked, what do you want to do? She said, well, I want to be a manager, and I want to do it in HR. I said, so what are you going to do to get that done? And she said, what can I do? And I said, you can ask them for it. You write down everything that you've done and you put it on paper to show your value. And she didn't realize the value that she had until she actually saw it on paper. And what she did was she went to her management staff and asked for a promotion and an increase. All they can do is tell her no, but guess what? She got the job she wanted and the pay. But it took her having the confidence to see her own value and worth before she could communicate it in the workplace. So, as I stated, what I do is teach women how to stay. And stay is basically you standing in your power daily, unapologetically, taking control of your thoughts and actions. What are you saying and doing, or not saying, or not doing? Then you need to assess who you need. A lot of us don't seek out mentors. And as women, that is one of the #1 mistakes that we make. We don't network and we don't connect to people who can help us. We're just not into that. But in order for you to stay, you have to be in that mode so that you can yield to who you've been called to be authentically. So let's talk about what that ICE means. ICE, first I is influence. And influence is having the effect on the development of behavior or something or someone. C, confidence. Confidence is having the reassurance that something will be successful. It's going to happen. You know, to me, it's that sweet spot where you feel sexy, confidence. Then we talk about E, the esteem. And the esteem is something being highly favorable and sought after. It's just a favor. And when you talk about rocking your ice, are you being influential? Are you using your confidence? And are you walking in the highest level of esteem that you are called to walk in? But before you can do that, you first have to know who you are. So who are you? And I like to peg 4 women who I can relate to easily. And I call them, the first one is the superwoman complex. And this is you if you think you can be all things to all people. You just, I can do it. But what we do know is you can't give 100% to everything. Then we have the flawless female. This is the woman who gets all of these degrees, these certifications. She's in all of these networking events. She just has to be seen, and she validates herself through things that make her feel valuable, to make her appear smart. Then we have Mrs. Right. So is this you? You have to have the last word. No matter what's being said or done, you are the one who has to put the period behind the statement. And then lastly, oh wow, yes, this is the person who just knows, sees everything about everybody else but not herself, and I call that the image consultant. So you see what's wrong with other people, but you're not thinking about what your areas of opportunity are, and you tell them without even thinking about it. So as we're going through this journey of talking about communication, I want you to really think about which one of these women you resonate with, because I was all four of them, and probably all at one time. But the good news is we can get past that. So I next want you to think about who told you that. True or false? We all have people in our lives who have said either you want to be good enough, maybe you are too smart, or you're not pretty enough. Who told you that? And then we begin to operate in this self-fulfilling prophecy, operating in those things that we have heard. So you're not really operating in the life that you were created to live. You are operating in a life that was shaped for you by others. So I would ask you to take an inventory of everybody in your life. And the way I look at relationships, simple mathematics: addition, subtraction, division, and adding. So who falls in what bucket? And we all know we want things to be added to our life. So think about that. So remember, your words have power. So the things that you are saying about yourself are really what's manifesting. So we know if we start our day, oh, I don't want to go in there today. Oh, I hate her. You've already framed how your day is going to start. And what I do have for you, if you stay with me to the end, is my power guide that I've created for women to help them walk in their power daily. And it's called the Power Walk. And the Power Walk will allow you to, first of all, declutter your mind. And then you're going to come up with your own affirmations that you want to see manifest in your life. I can tell you what I want in my life, but the only way you're going to be able to walk in your authentic power is to know what you want. So just think about the words that you're saying, and I challenge you tomorrow morning, speak positive over your day and watch your day follow your words. So when we talk about communication, I don't know if you know, but 7% of the way that we communicate is verbal, and 93% is nonverbal. So what is that saying? People already know what your body language is saying, but you have to work even harder to get them to understand you verbally. So what I want to talk about now are the 5 communication styles and how they impact confidence. And so we're going to talk about aggressiveness, passive aggressive, submissive, manipulative, and assertive. So the aggressive woman. This is the woman who's belligerent. She's always loud. She's always talking down to people, and she's all about winning at any cost. It's all about her. And people normally respond to this woman by staying away from her. She's unapproachable. Some people like to peg her as bipolar. Kind of want to stay away from that. But think about what you're saying and how you're saying it, especially in the workplace when you're thinking about moving up to the next level, when you're wondering why you're not being seen. Could you be the aggressive woman? Well, what about the passive aggressive woman? And I talked about her earlier when I told my story about me just saying, whatever. This woman avoids conflict. She has something to say, but she simply doesn't say it. And what ends up happening for her is her value is diminished because people know that she's good at something, but because she's not stepping up, they just miss her. And so when people are responding to her, it's little or nothing. And typically what you may hear about this type of woman is she doesn't have a sense of urgency, she doesn't care, she's not all in. So think about this woman. Are you showing up as her at work every day? Then we have the submissive woman. And no, we're not talking about the Proverbs 31 woman. This is not who she is. You know, just like there's the yes man, this is the yes woman. She's very mild and meek. She kind of sits, on the sidelines, waiting for people to tell her what to do. So she's good at following those in authority. And what happens with this woman, people know that she'll just do it. And so she really doesn't get the respect that she deserves. And she doesn't really realize that. But the one characteristic about a submissive woman, she's very insecure, especially in the workplace. So think about if you're being back in the shadows because you don't want your flaws to show, you don't want anybody to think that you don't know. Sometimes not knowing is a great way to learn what you need to know. Then we have the manipulator. And I know none of us know who that is. So this woman is the one who says something like this. I surely need to work late tonight, but I don't have anybody to come pick up my kids. And this is something I really need to do to get this project done. Then someone says, oh, I'll do it for you. So what did she just do? She manipulated you to do something she needed to do for herself, but didn't want to ask because she's always asking. Like she's cunning. And when people see her coming, when you look at your cell phone, you're like, I'm not answering that. Because all she does is think about herself. But here is the sweet spot of who you want to be. You want to be the assertive woman. So the assertive woman, she knows who she is. When she walks into a room, she commands the attention just by her presence. This woman, she has a very authoritative tone, but it speaks with confidence. It's not intimidating, and she's very good at setting boundaries. And this woman is the woman who gets the respect. She gets the seat at the table. People come to her for her opinion because you know why? They know where they stand with her. And she knows where she stands with them. So there's no question about how I need to fit in. She knows who she is, and she walks in her power, and she gets the respect that she needs and keeps it without compromising who she is. So think about all of these behaviors and think about what you need to do to change. And your beliefs do not make you, it's the behavior that does. So what behaviors do you need to change today to get you to walk in your power? And so if you don't know the answer to that question, I have that for you. So I'm going to give you 4 ways to rock your ice immediately. And these are my methods that I use, so I know that they work. And then as I showed you earlier, I have people who have used it, and it has been 100% successful. So the only guarantee that I have for you is it'll work if you work it. So the first one we have here is revive. And when I think about revival, think about the church. So how many of us have actually gone to the church and we went to the revival for 3 days and you feeling good? Yeah. And then the next thing you know, you're back to normal. So make sure that you're doing what you need to do to revive yourself. Then recharge. Think about that cell phone. Everybody has it plugged up right now. Your smart device will not lose its charge. But when you think about losing your charge, think about those apps that are running in the background. And those are the people who you may need to cut from your life. Those may be the things you need to stop doing. Then we're going to talk about redirect. Change your story. Everybody else has created a story for you. Create your own. Create the real one. Be the real you. Find out who you are. Connect with the people and the resources to do that. And I have free resources that are available to you that will get you on the right track right away. And then last, I'm free. Release yourself. Get out there. Find out who you are and be bold and walk in it. And I just want to just encourage you. Find the real you, because at some point, you're going to get tired of being who everybody else has called you to be. And when that time comes, you're probably going to be deceased. So now that you have the opportunity while you're still on the face of this earth to make a difference in this world, to rock your ice, now is the time to do it. Do it, because somebody else's life depends on you. So What I want you to always remember is be the voice, not the echo. Walk in that room, command it, demand it,